Hey everyone, it's Bob from Bob's Wood Shop. Well, went out and did a little shopping today. Melted the credit card a little bit. Went out and bought a bunch of electrical supplies. I got two 6-tube fixtures with T8 daylight bright lights, and got a number. I just picked up four boxes for my dedicated outlets for my 200 220 volt equipment. I got these really neat cable ties. I like these. A lot of people say, just throw staples in it, but they were red and it's cool. I like them. So, but I hadn't seen them before either, so I'm a sucker for new stuff. But what you do is you lay this guy over your joist on if you're going to make a run in the ceiling, and you nail it in, and you take your wire like this, throw that on the floor, and what you do is you take your cables, you put them in there, right, and that's nailed down. And after you get all your cables in there, you can put up to four number 10 uh, number 10 wires, and you snap it in place. And this way, they're all nice and neat and not all flopping around up there. And then so I thought that was kind of cool. So I got that, and I got these. I got the stud cable protectors that you nail over the stud where you're drilling a hole through 2x4, so that somebody doesn't come along after you with a lag and they're going to hang a cabinet and they drive that lag screw into your 240 volt wire if it's behind the wall. So I got that and the two things and the two 250 foot rolls of wire, and I think I got 12 tubes. These take 6 each, and it set me back about $600. But that's okay because I'm doing it myself. It is going to be inspected, so it will be a legal installation, and it'll have a sign off on it by the electrical inspector. Hopefully, it doesn't give me too much of a hard time. I'm going to do this the best I can, as neat as I can, and as correct as I can. The only problem I'm having right now that's holding me up, and I'm not going to unwrap this cable yet, and I'm hoping to get some feedback on this. Maybe some of you guys are electricians out there. But I got 10-2 wire that I was going to run from my 100 amp sub panel. Excuse me. And so, yeah, 10-2 with the bare copper wire for ground. And I was going to run that from the 100 amp panel into my dedicated outlet around, I think I'm going to have 5 or 6 of them. And I'll be using the bare copper wire at the receptacle on the ground side. Right? Now, I happen to be looking at some of the cords that come with my my equipment, and it's basically SO cord, electric extension cord, and like my jointer, right? My jointer is only 12.2, I think, 12.3, yeah, 12.3, but it's only a 3-prong outlet. So I didn't need 12.4. And as I understand, there's no machine grounding required or frame grounds or anything like that on any of this woodworking equipment, especially the older stuff. So, but got me thinking. And I was thinking that should I have gone with 10.3, which is, um, 3 insulated conductors and a bare copper wire, and run those to the box, and use a 4-prong outlet for a receptacle, and change my wiring on the equipment to have that machine grounding, an additional protected ground, a little additional protection. So I don't know what to do about that yet. Am I required to do that by code? I'm going to have to do some research on that and check that out. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure, about 99% sure, according to the electrician I spoke to, that's kind of guiding me through this. But I can run a three-prong outlet with two insulated conductors, two 120 volts basically is what you got, and that one ground, uh, which would be the solid copper wire, the bare copper wire, and then just stay with my cords that I have and use those. So there's where we're at now. I was hoping to be a lot further along than I am, but I came down with a little bronchitis and had to go get some medication and was laid up for at least a day, day and a half. And but we're back up and running again, and I'm gonna start at least running my 12-2 for my lighting and for my individual receptacles that are gonna go around the walls here. And I'll just hold off a little bit on the 12-3. I mean the 10-2 until I get some more clarification on that. Originally, I'd said I wanted to run all my 220 outlets outside externally in pipe. Well, that's changed because pipe and the wire is a little more expensive than putting it in a wall. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these boxes, the outlet boxes, I'm going to put them flush with the stud. And if I need to run make the run longer, 4 feet down the wall or 6 feet down the wall, what I can do is I can get an extension plate on there and then mount an external box and then run the pipe from that to the next outlet and just tie that off inside and we're done. So anyway, there's the little bit of progress that we made. I decided to a little bit more about placement of the equipment. The joiner and the planer and the dust equipment is going to go up against that northwest wall. It's a good fit, I think, there. And what I may end up doing is putting a small 8-foot long, 7-foot high wall up. All right. And this will give me some cabinet storage on one side for planer knives, joiner knives, push sticks, anything pertaining to that equipment. Maybe I don't know, whatever I would normally put with that. And then on the other side of it, I think I'll probably put a small lumber storage, for cutoffs, that are more than 4 feet long or 4 foot, 5 foot, small stuff, like if I'm cutting, if I'm, for whatever reason, anyway, sorry about that. So there it is. Again, I'm just holding up on this 10-2 until I get real good clarification on that. I don't want to go way overkill, but I want it to be safe. And again, I'm going to have it inspected and it will be done correctly. So there it is. I went out, I had to go out and buy a ladder because everything I had down in Florida was like 8-foot ceilings tops. But here we got a lot of stuff 10 foot and, so I went out and got a nice 8-foot ladder. One of those fiberglass deals, for doing the electrical work. Good sturdy ladder that should work well. Plus doing sheetrock, So I'm trying to get this wire up into the rafters and get that all done so I can get the sheetrock up, number one, and then I'm going to leave a few access panels, maybe 3 or 4 access panels in each corner partway in. And I went to the big box store, and you can rent the foam blowing, not foam, but the insulation blowing machine. And you buy 20 blocks of insulation, and you get the machine to use for nothing. So I'm going to probably blow about 5 or 6 inches up into the rafters after the electrical is in. There's no point in making any storage up there. It's only trusses. Don't really need it. Got a lot of storage inside for things that you would normally put in the garage, like Christmas stuff and just all kinds of other junk. And I got a shed out there for the yard equipment. So a little more progress. I guess I'll get up on this ladder and start. Well, first I'll start nailing these boxes in where I'm going to have them, where they're going to go, and I'll mark some where some of the other outlets are, and we'll be moving right along here. I'll get a shot of the maybe some still photos of how these cable things work. They're pretty neat. I like them. So you all have a good one, and happy woodworking. Bye bye.